Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Servant, and I am proud to be a sponsor of the FiveTwenty Collective podcast. You know, these guys have been helping me out for a while. Eric's a great dude, and I love everything that they do over there. While you're at it, go ahead and check out my single Slide. Brand new, just came out last week. You can find it on all digital outlets. Just search SRRVANT. That's SRRVANT. You can find me on all of social media. It's, again, SRRVANT, SRRVANT. And if you enjoy all that, you like checking out the social media feed, hit me up on my website. It's servantmusic.com. That's SRRVANT music.com. You can do some bookings, see my music, even see blog posts, stuff like that, and of course get some merch. Alright, well, enjoy the episode, guys. Let me know what you think of the track. Have a good one.
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem.
FiveTwenty Collective, where music meets ministry and the indie artist takes center stage.
Take a ride through my old town. Old me, old Sean. Might need boats, cry oceans. Here float down my old child fear. So broke, no hope round here. Been trying to cope since like 01. Better slow down for your cosign. You might Sean.
What's up? Welcome to the FiveTwenty Collective podcast right here on the Trackstars Podcast Network. That's right, we are in the field, and this is where music meets ministry and the indie artist takes center stage. It's Eric Boston. I'm right here with Nate Shelton as always. What's good, man?
Hey, how's it going? Are we surviving our little lockdown quarantine here?
Man, we're doing the best we can. I just tell everyone, hey, we're just trying to make the most out of every day, it's an adjustment. There's a lot of, very just unexpected things, that's taking place, in a very, very short amount of time. So, the routine's not quite there. Trying to make sure being productive, but overall, just making the most out of the situation. How about you guys?
Yeah, just taking it day by day. Every day seems a little bit different, but we're hanging in there. Some days are better than others. I'm sure everybody else probably feels the same way.
For sure. Well, Nate, this episode of the FiveTwenty podcast is being brought to us by FiveTwenty Radio. That is hosted by our guy, DJ Barcode. Make sure y'all tune in. It is your new home for independent Christian hip-hop. You can check out FiveTwenty Radio online at radio.fivetwentycollective.com or download the His Hop Radio app where you can stream FiveTwenty Radio 24/7. Check out the great music around indie CHH, and then a lot of really great podcasts and shows that have to do with the culture. It's our show's obviously on there Wednesdays at 5:20 Eastern time. But you also got Trackstars, you got Meets Real, the Weekend Radio Show. Lots of great programming that our guy DJ Barcode has put together. So check it out. 520 Radio. Follow it on Twitter at 520 Radio. And then a big shout out, you guys heard it at the beginning of the show, but big shout out to our guy Servant, who released his new single, Slide. It is available across digital outlets, so make sure you go and support that, stream it, download it, all that good stuff. Man, Nate, what's been going on for you, man, since you've been kind of inside? I know you're working from home, but, maybe an opportunity to check out a little extra music and stuff this past month. I don't know.
I'm not gonna try and pretend, but there was a period after with all the adjustments, everything going on, music was kind of on the back burner for a little while. Had some personal stuff going on at home, so that pushed it back a little bit too. But getting back in the routine, getting that music, keeping up to date with everybody, checking in on what everybody's releasing and all the new music coming out. So yeah, keeping that playlist updated at the least right now. That's been my priority. So check out the playlist, follow the sauce on Spotify. All your favorite artists, indie artists are on there. So give that a follow.
No doubt, no doubt. So if you guys want to get linked up with the sauce and the other great 520 playlists, go to FiveTwentyCollective.com. That's www.FiveTwentyCollective.com. Make sure you subscribe, get the latest content that gets put out on the site delivered right to your inbox. But yeah, you can check out the links for the different playlists, and obviously, check out the music that we're posting throughout the week. And then, just keep up with us through social media as well. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All those are at 520CHH. That is at 520 spelled out CHH. You can also connect with me on Twitter at Eric Boston and the number 3. Nate, where are they going to hit you up at, man?
You can find me at @IM_Nate Dogg on Twitter. That's where all the music is, news is going on. Keep following me there and get the latest on the indie music scene in CHH.
That's what's up. So a couple of cool things that's happened over the last month, Nate, that I want to hit on. One, big shout out to Mache and the team at Kingdom Crunked Radio. They have added 520 Collective. We are going to be featured on Kingdom Crunked, the 520 Collective podcast. I don't think she started playing it quite yet, but it's coming. So as soon as we know our time slot and everything, we'll make sure to spread that out. But we are definitely coming to Kingdom Crunked Radio. So excited to have that. Like I said, shout out to Mache for making that happen. And then we're also going to start doing some pretty cool things, Nate. I mean, if people have been checking out the website, they know that we've done written interviews with artists in the past. We're kind of doing some audio interviews now that we're going to start dropping. And it's pretty cool, Nate. I think that it's going to come across really well. This past week we started doing those with a handful of artists, and hopefully we will be dropping the first artist interview soon. So basically, if you want to get to know some of the different faces of independent CHH, you want to check out this Honest Talk audio interview series. It's really an opportunity to get a quick little glimpse at the artist, get to know them a little bit, check out some of their music. And the best way to do that is to follow our 520 Collective Anchor account. That is on anchor.fm/520-collective. Subscribe to Anchor. Subscribe to our channel so that as we drop those interviews, you're able to take a listen to them. I'm excited about it, Nate. I don't know about you. It's been something that's been kind of swirling around in the old noggin for a little bit.
Yeah, we have talked about it off and on, different ideas to connect with the artists out there. And, one thing about the situation the country's going through right now created the perfect time to kind of do this. Pretty much most of us don't have a whole lot else going on right now besides maybe working. But so, artists definitely want to get out there and share what they've got on their heart. So this is going to be an exciting thing. I'm looking forward to hearing that first interview.
Definitely. So make sure you guys check it out. Like I said, go to our Anchor page, anchor.fm/520-collective, and make sure you follow us on there so you get the interviews right as they're dropping. So Nate, one cool thing that we've been doing since we started season 2 of the podcast is we've been kind of taking some of the things that we've been reading and really just kind of progressing through in our devotionals and chatting about those a little more at length. I know that you had some things that you'd been jotting down, taking some notes on during this past month that we said, hey, that would be a good conversation to have. So why don't we jump into that, man? What do you got? What has been kind of tugging at your heart that you want to discuss?
This series we've been going through with the devotional this last couple weeks, there was a point one day where it spoke about Jesus meeting you where you're at and really, being able to connect with him, really find what he's putting on your heart. And it just really kind of spoke to me with like I said, this current situation we're going on. You have a lot more, at least for me personally, a lot more time to just sit in solitude. I know I've been in my Bible a lot more the last few weeks, just trying to find some peace with the uncertainty going on, and really has created an opportunity for me to see what he really has, something to put on my heart that I feel people need to hear, and just, connecting and telling people what Jesus has been speaking to me.
Yeah, man. So what has he been impressing on you? Like what is, just really kind of stood out? What do you feel like he's teaching you through those moments?
Just feeling, for me personally, being fully reliant on him and not worrying about the future, because obviously for all of us, this is all out of our control, and just not, whatever we do or say is not going to change our current situation. And for me, being able to fully trust him to get us through all of this and not worry about our future. Because, I mean, you look at what it says in the gospel where he takes care of the birds and the flowers, and why should we be concerned about what we're going to eat, what the next day has in store? And that's just been really, the last couple weeks has been heavy on my heart with being stuck at home, wondering when the end will be in sight.
Yeah, for sure. And Nate, whenever you kind of threw this out here to me and you were like, hey, this is kind of what, is standing out to me. This is what I've been thinking about lately. One thing that hit me was you talked about Jesus knows where to meet us. And you kind of posed that question of how are we meeting Jesus during this time? And, it got me thinking about how you hear people say that, right? Like, man, I'm searching for God right now, or I'm seeking to get closer to God. And it really just had me thinking, like, dude, there was this song from several years ago, and part of the lyrics was, I don't want to know where you'll meet me because I'm not there. All right. And I started putting those lyrics together with what you were saying. And it really struck me like, man, we should never, ever say that I'm seeking out God. Because, dude, God is right there. You don't have to look for him. He's not somewhere hiding. He's not like, hey, I'm going to be in this city, but you got to find out where I'm at or whatever. He's literally right there, eager to spend that time with us, right? Eager for that fellowship and that relationship on a consistent, every day, every minute basis. And that was something that really just hit me, is like, we got to stop acting like, God is something that we've lost and we've got to go find him. He's like, nah, fam, I'm right here. Let's do this thing. Because really, I feel like when we're saying, man, I want to meet him, or God, meet me where I am. We're really kind of doing a disservice there, in my opinion. It's like he's not making this difficult. In fact, the one thing that we're learning, with this, we're recording on Easter weekend right now, and like, man, he took care of the hard stuff. It's all easy from this point,
Exactly. And kind of to piggyback off of that, where God is waiting for us and we don't have to meet him anywhere. This whole period where everything is just basically stopped and slowed down, there are no excuses if you're a Christian, really, where you should not have some time carved out where you're just, spending time in the Bible, trying to learn more, and you should be able to connect with God so much easier now. You don't have all these outside influences pulling at you, demanding your time. This is the perfect time as a Christian to really be able to grow closer to God and not have excuses to why you aren't making that time for him.
Yeah, I think this particular time in human history, it's opportunity for us to really look at ourselves and look at our relationship, right? And say, okay, let's be 100% real. Let's be 100% transparent about it. Have I always really had that relationship with God. I mean, you know, so many people are upset about maybe not being able to attend church right now or whatever the case may be, but it's like, okay, that shouldn't, just because I can't go to this building shouldn't impact that relationship that I have. If it does, if all of a sudden I'm struggling here in this relationship, maybe I didn't have the relationship in the first place. Maybe I had a cool social gathering that was God themed, if that makes sense.
Exactly. You really need to evaluate your faith and, I guess, belief. If not being in a building with, and don't get me wrong, being with other Christians is the backbone of the faith, you know, building community. But if the four walls are what keeps your faith, quote unquote, strong, then you probably need to really look at yourself and kind of see where your relationship with God is, if that's where you're basing your faith at.
Yeah. And, you know, obviously uncertain times, there are, and rightfully so, there's people that are nervous. There might be some people that are scared, but yeah, I look at the song that we're about to listen to, Nate, and it talks about how we are bathed. We're put into this holy water, right? It's a layer of protection for us, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I am excited that this happens to be the song that we are featuring this month, because it fits really well with kind of what is going on in the world right now, and it, you know, it gives us a reason to stop and think and feel confident. I believe it is the ultimate thing to take away from this. I want to check it out, Nate. Are you cool if we go ahead and we take a listen to the song?
Let's dive. No pun intended, but let's dive into this song.
All right, cool. So, guys, we're going to check out this song right now. It is off of the new project 20 Seconds by our guy BRM from Rapture Ready Productions North. He teamed up with BrodieDaVinci to put out that project, and this song is Holy Water, and it features God Over Money's own Jered Sanders. So let's check it out.
Drip, homie, holy water flowing from me. It get ugly if you putting him below the money. I went to battle with the lamb, now it's getting bloody. Now we about to see the land full of milk and honey. Was in the mud till he covered me in holy water. At the well, took a sip of that holy water. All my sins were washed away in that holy water. They ain't never gonna get me out that holy water.
New drip, dog, I don't need a wash. Blood rinse, gonna be hard to get it off. Clear to you, buddy, gon' see the red when he coming by the crib and he gotta pick me up. Big 6 finna take me out the skybox. Only one eye matter like a cyclops. I am when they put me in the pine box, headed to the sky tops, living up with my pops. You ain't probably get it, but you bout to. Certified sinner, I would live in hella doubtful. When I say hella, homie, think of Jerry. Hella, if you running ruthless, better get a douse too.
Big drip, homie, holy water flowing from me. It get ugly if you putting him below the money. I went to battle with the lamb, now it's getting bloody. Now we about to see the land full of milk and honey.
Was in the mud till he covered me in holy water. At the well, took a sip of that holy water. All my sins were washed away in that holy water. They ain't never gonna get me out that holy water.
Big drip, ooh, Brody splashing on him. Jered KD, me and B the Splash Brothers. Took a sip from the stream, got my thirst quenched. Cup overflowing off the soul, now my shirt drenched.
I'm drowning in a pool of grace. This fountain is found in
the highest holy place. Took a step out the boat, saw the waves crash. Didn't pray up in the session, so the waves crashed. Hand reached down through the ocean, got your dude saved. Now I'm passing around this holy water, Bobby Boucher. Now they think they only drip with the jewelry on. The rocks, holy water brought me change like Vaporeon. Big drip, homie.
homie, holy water flowing from me. It get ugly if you putting him below the money. I went to battle with the lamb, now it's getting bloody. Now we about to see the land full of milk and honey.
Was in the mud till he covered me in holy water. At the well, took a sip of that holy water. All my sins were washed away in that holy water. They ain't never gonna get me out that holy water.
Yo, repent to be baptized. Yeah, I am that guy. Offering my gift up, magi. Eat the living water, so I took a drink from the stream. I done trying to build a team for the king. I done swimming in the holy water, looking for the lost in the sea. I'm the coast guard, throwing floaties. Grab a hold of God, one is in his palm. We the go for him. Michael Phelps' arms on his back. He is strong like the clay step. Man, I jump away, we don't have to gas. PD Rose on him, on myself, make a bed. When we run for God, I know what we got. Holy water, God is riding in his yard. When we die, let me ride. Big drip, homie, holy water flowing from me. It get ugly if you putting him below the money. I went to battle with the lamb, now it's getting bloody. Now we about to see the land full of milk and honey.
Was in the mud till he covered me in holy water. At the well, took a sip of that holy water. All my sins were washed away in that holy water. They ain't never gonna get me out that holy water.
All right, that was Holy Water from BRM and BrodieDaVinci featuring Jered Sanders. As always, this featured song and breakdown is brought to you by Show Me Christ Records. Show Me Christ out in St. Louis, Missouri. Make sure you hit them up, support them. They're doing a lot of awesome things for the CHH culture. Check them out at showmechristrecords.com. Support the playlist, all that great stuff, and help support the music that they're putting out, including their main artist over there, Jered. He's got some singles that have dropped, so check it out, showmechristrecords.com. So, Nate, we just listened to Holy Water. You got 3 really talented artists on this song. You got BRM, who has, he's always working. He's pushing hard. He's always looking to improve. You got BrodieDaVinci, who I know for us is kind of a newer artist. We really got kind of hyped to him about the time that he did the challenge with BRM, and they put out that first song that Talk to Me Together. That's when we kind of really started finding out about BrodieDaVinci. And then you've got one of the best lyricists within CHH, hands down, in Jered Sanders, all coming together to put this song together. And I'm gonna be honest, as soon as I saw Jered Sanders' names on it, the expectations for me went up. And I know that you're a big fan of his as well. What did you think of the track Holy Water, man? How would you break it down?
Well, I really enjoyed this track. I mean, like you said, we really didn't know a whole lot about BrodieDaVinci before this challenge that BRM did, and what I've heard from him, I've been really impressed. This track, Holy Water, obviously you bring on Jered Sanders, the expectations are high. Yes, you are right. I am a huge fan of Jered Sanders. I love good lyricists and hip hop, and he's right up there. But as a whole, this song, I thought they really all complimented themselves really well. And the potential with having an artist like Jered Sanders featured is to kind of be overshadowed by that feature. And I thought overall, as a whole, all 3 of these artists really brought their talents together and made this song really complete. Just overall great. The message, of course, was on point as well. I really, really, really did like Holy Water.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna agree with you on that for sure. Like, one, I've heard quite a bit of BRM stuff to this point, and I could make the argument that this track right here is possibly the best that I've heard him do as far as as an artist. Like, I felt like he really stepped up, and like you said, the fear there is that Jered Sanders is going to jump on the track and just kind of outshine everybody. But the 3 of them, they blended really well together. I thought that they balanced each other out. They played off of each other, and overall, it was a cohesive effort that really made this track shine and stand out. Another thing that I would say is the production and the engineering on this track is super on point. I'm gonna be honest. I sat down and I was doing some work for, I'm in grad school, so I was doing some grad school work. I was doing some work on, FiveTwenty on our site and whatnot. And I was at my desk for the better part of an hour, and I just had this song on repeat, just listening to it. And it's so smooth. It's so just cleaned up so nicely that I had it on the entire time, and it did not get old. It did not bug me. It wasn't like, okay, it's time to switch it to something else. Like, it was just a very, very well done and easy to appreciate listening experience on my part.
Right. I felt the same way. Obviously, as we're preparing for all this, we listened to the song several times, and, after you listen to the same song after a while, you just kind of like, okay, let's just move on to something else, take a break for a while or whatever. But this one is just, like you said, it's that feel to it was so smooth and easy that it's something that you can continually listen to, and it's not gonna, you're not gonna tire of it after all. Because one, you got, like you've said, mentioned several times here, Jered Sanders lyrically is fantastic. BRM, he's been doing really great things lately, and again, BrodieDaVinci, really impressed by what he's bringing out. And as a whole, didn't know about this project until we learned about this song. But then I went through, after listening to the song, and listened to the whole project, and it's just a fun, not a lot of, it's not heavy hitting, it's just one of those fun albums. And overall, BRM and BrodieDaVinci really shine on this project as a whole too. So it's definitely something you need to go check out.
Yeah. And if you guys are interested in knowing more about the full project, hit up FiveTwentyCollective.com. Our guy David Eagles actually did a review for it as well, so you can kind of take a look, get David's insights, get his thoughts on the album as a whole. But yeah, no, for, like I said, I think the performances were on point. The production was insane. Like I said, it's very rare that I listen really close to a production and don't find something to at least nitpick at. And this one, it was just solid. There was not anything about it that bugged me at all. So definitely a track that is up there for me whenever I'm keeping track of, what are the songs that have stood out to me for this year. It's one that I think is going to make my list, and it's going to make those choices to narrow it down to like a top 10 or so when we do our best of 2020. A difficult choice to make. Nate, one thing we always ask, and I already know the answer to it, so I feel silly asking, but we always say, is a song playlist worthy? Obviously, we have some options, some different playlists that we can put tracks on here at FiveTwenty. We know a lot of curators as well. Tell me, man, just go ahead and give me the answer that I know is coming, but maybe tell me why.
This would be,
is this song playlist worthy?
It's definitely playlist worthy for the sauce. Like you said, we have several different ones, but we tend to push the sauce as the premier playlist that we have. It's definitely playlist worthy, and we've gone over this a few times now, but this is one of those top beginning to end songs that is just very well put together. Production, the writing, everything just is on point, and it will definitely make an appearance on the sauce.
That's what's up. So make sure you guys go and listen. Stream it, download, all that good stuff. It is Holy Water, BRM and BrodieDaVinci, featuring Jered Sanders from the 20 Seconds Project. Nate, it is time. We're going to jump into this month's Industry Insider interview. Had a chance to chop it up with the head dog from Culture Villains, Mr. Travis James. It was a great conversation, man. I'm excited for people to be able to check it out. So, anything you want to say before we sign off and check out the interview?
I just want to say, everybody, take care of yourselves out there. Hang in there. Press into God in this season and really see where He wants you to grow in your relationship with Him.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. There's you don't have to go find Him. He's right there ready to meet you right now. So take advantage of that and stick around after the the backside of this break, check out our interview with Travis James from Culture Villains, and we will check you all next month in May for the next podcast. See you then. Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric with FiveTwenty Collective and the FiveTwenty Collective podcast. I want to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way possible to make a podcast. Let me break it down for you. 1, it's free. That's right, no cost to use Anchor. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. So if you want to get on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and many, many more, then it's really, really easy, guys. You just set up an Anchor account at anchor.fm. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Again, make money, no minimum listeners. You're not going to find that anywhere else. It's everything you need to make a podcast, and it's all in one place. So go right now and download the free Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And make sure you let them know you heard it on FiveTwenty Collective Podcast. Welcome to this month's Industry Insider interview, brought to you officially by Bookkeeper247.com. What's up, and welcome to this month's Industry Insider interview. A big shout out to our guys at the Bookkeeper247.com for helping make this segment possible. Make sure you check out what they have going on over at their site. Once again, that's the Bookkeeper247.com. And joining me right now on the Trackstars Podcasting Network phone lines, he is kind of the head honcho, the big guru over at Culture Villains. They're coming off of a big year in 2019, and it's rolling right on into 2020. So joining me right now, Mr. Travis James. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. How's everything going with you?
Oh man, we're going well, man. I know you guys have been touring here lately, and we were lucky to be a small part of that, man. How has the Incognito tour been?
The Incognito tour has been great. This is probably size-wise the biggest tour we've put together. Got it off the East Coast. We traveled from Virginia to Texas, Atlanta. Right now, we're on a hiatus. With the coronavirus and everything, we actually postponed the tour, but we're going to actually pick it back up once things settle down. The tour's been great. I mean, we had a huge show in Dallas, which was a new market for us as far as performing. But it was such a great turnout, so much great energy, artists, fans. It was just great all around.
That's what's up, man. I mean, I know it seemed like you guys kind of took it up a notch with this tour. Obviously, we had the opportunity to get involved as a sponsor. I mean, what did you notice that was different about, the shows that you guys have done to this point, compared to maybe shows you did prior to this tour?
I think the best comparison would probably be last year with the preseason tour. Last year was tough. I think the thing that we had trouble with, just being transparent, we didn't get on a lot of tours. We were getting a dry spell with getting shows with different churches just based on different things with our music. So we decided, instead of just, waiting for somebody to invite us to their table, to just build our own. That's one thing I believe in. Don't wait for a seat, just build your own table. So last year we did the preseason tour. We took some lumps. We had some shows that really didn't have great turnouts, but we had some shows that were pretty solid. So we kind of learned from that, and like where we want to target having our shows in, really honing in on our analytics from streaming. And then this year we used some of those lessons to put together, the Incognito tour. We were very grateful. I had Johnny Jeff on board. He was real instrumental in helping me book things. And we built relationships with different venues. So all that together, we kind of just targeted our areas better. The promotion was better. And I think just, our individual fan bases with the artists on Culture Villains has grown. So we're seeing a big turnout, people coming out, not only buying general admission tickets, but as well as our VIP packages. So that's the biggest difference. The energy is there. And, I don't know if you've ever been to a culture building show, but one thing we pride ourselves on is just having very high energy at our shows, nonstop energy, nonstop partying. We don't really like a lot of dry spells in our show. So that's one thing we've really had on this tour, and it's been great.
Man, that's what's up. And, you talked about the preseason tour. Obviously, the preseason collaboration album that you guys dropped last year, that was kind of the jump off. It was CV Summers, all this stuff. But then you guys followed it up with a lot of great releases from the individual artists, Cam and Josh and Ye and these guys. And man, it just seems like you guys took that momentum and you just kind of kept it going right into another year here. What's it like for you guys on your side? How are you seeing how you feel like stuff's going? What do you got rolling right now?
Things have been going good. We wanted to take, when it comes to culture films, we want to take everything in phases. So we had phase one when we dropped Ye's first project, Josh's first project, and then brought in Cam. Our phase two was basically preseason up until now. So we wanted to take it up a notch, more videos, more content, more music. So right now we're in phase three. Which you're going to see new music from Cam coming real soon. New music from Josh coming real soon. And we actually just wrapped up both projects in the recording process. So we're sending them both off to get mixed and mastered. And you should expect it very, very soon. You should expect new music videos, a possible short film from Josh. So there's a lot in the works. We're taking it up another level. So I'm really excited about these projects. I guarantee you Cam has Album of the Year. And I'll put him up against anybody's album of the year.
All right, man. Yeah, we're going to look forward to that for sure. Well, man, I know that the effort that you guys put in, it definitely, was paying dividends. Obviously, I think you guys, took it up a notch. You already were well known within the CHH space, but I think you took it even higher. I know one thing that you guys was able to accomplish. I had a small role in this as well, but being part of the Next Up list by DJ Jeremiah and Trackstars. When we were discussing that, it's like, man, we couldn't even just give it to one artist. You guys did so much, and you're so tight knit that it was like, man, let's just say Culture Villains, they're up next. How was getting highlighted or getting recognized in that way for you guys?
It was great. We're definitely very gracious to be mentioned in that whole conversation, just to be next up. When you think about how big our space is, there's so many artists, and I know of artists that have been going at it for years just to get some sort of recognition or just to be noticed by fans, outlets, and different things like that. So we never take it for granted when, we get placed on a list or somebody shouts us out, just because we know so many artists that are just hungry for that. Definitely grateful.
Yeah, certainly. And guys, once again, join me on the Trackstars Podcasting Network phone line. It is Travis from Culture Villains. So, man, let's take it back. Let's take it back to kind of the beginning, man, because all this wouldn't be possible without some direction, without some foresight, and some intentional, decisions. And I think that kind of, from listening to you guys, we've seen you on Trackstars. We've seen, we've got to interact with you guys a little bit. And I think, everyone kind of gives that credit right squarely at your feet, man. So let's talk about, how did you get going with all this? How did you know that, hey, Culture Villains, this is the right thing that I need to do?
Do you want the short story or the long story?
Man, I'm here for it. So you tell me.
All right. So I'm going to tell you from the start how Culture Villains got started. All right. So it started with me actually meeting JT and Ye. So I actually used to date a girl who was friends with their mentor. So their mentor knew me. Then when JT worked on his first project, Rockstar JT, they came to me because they needed like a last second mix, and I was like doing mixing at that time, and that's how I met JT. We became friends. I became friends with Ye, and at the same time, I was over a ministry at Liberty University called Bridging the Gap Urban Ministries, and that same time, I met a whole bunch of artists through our artist development program. That's when I met Zar Josh. I met Romar Jesse. I met Eclesso. I met the producer Kilowatts. Eventually met Enzo Grand. So I met all these guys within the same year. So I'm working with them, helping them develop as artists. And at the same time, I felt God like pulling me away from that ministry to actually start a movement for people who were similar to myself, where they don't necessarily, I'm not super churchy or anything like that, but I love the Lord, and I'm real intentional with discipleship and just the Great Commission as a whole. But it looks different coming from me just because you won't see me in a suit dressed up on Sunday or anything like that. I'm tatted up. I have earrings. I have chains. So it just looks different. So that's where the Culture Villains movement came from, because, you know, in our culture, Christians are always looked at as villains. No matter what we do or say or where our heart is at, we're always looked at as villains, right? And then if you look different when you're delivering your message in some Christian circles, you're kind of looked at as a villain just because it doesn't look like what the norm is. So that's where Culture Villains kind of, the whole idea started. The first person I told about it was Romar Jesse. And I was like, man, I'm thinking about having this movement. And he was just so excited about it. And it wasn't even supposed to be like a production company or anything. It was just a movement. So God just began to unveil some things. And, you know, I went ahead and started a production company because, you know, artist development was my passion. And the first artist, you know, I started working with was Big Ye. And we were working on his We Gon' Shine project. So he was the first artist. Then Zar Josh had always been around me, and we worked together on music. So he was the next artist. So from there, that's how we started. So We Gon' Shine came out. There was a big success for Ye. You know, the We Gon' Shine single, it was charting on the CHR charts, doing real well there. The project did real well. So Culture Villains started to, you know, get known a little bit. Then, you know, Cam was always hanging around, and I always had my eye on him, and I was always helping him with his music. So we Cam, and that's where we kind of took off, because, and this is where Preseason came about. We had a whole bunch of singles because I was working with Cam, I was working with John, I was working with Ye. We had 13 singles, and we didn't know what to do with them. So I said, hey, let's just put out a project with all of them. 2 months later, you get Preseason. And that's basically what came about. So that's what led to the whole Culture Villains movement, and creating it as a company. And it's something that we're still growing. You're going to see new people associated with Culture Villains in the future. So yeah, that's it. That's the long story.
That's what's up, man. I mean, you know, I think it sounds like, man, if you want to be a part of CHH, you got to go to Liberty, is basically what it comes down to. Is that, am I right on that?
Liberty has so much talent. Like if I was to go back, do you remember Gideon's Army?
Yeah.
They're from Liberty. There was a member of Everyday Process that went to Liberty. You have Humble Tip, CJ King, Mike Farrar, Michael Farrar. He went to Liberty. There's so much talent that comes through there. And, you know, I've got to meet almost everybody that has come through there, which is great. But there's even more talent coming up.
Yeah, man. And if we go back even further, I mean, if you want to go way, way back, didn't DC Talk start there?
Yep.
Oh, man. So, artists, if you're thinking, man, I'm not getting any traction in the CHH thing, maybe enroll in Liberty and see what happens.
Go to college.
But no, like, so for those artists out there who, you know, have not, you know, got their roots in Liberty, what's some advice that you would have just from a kind of a collective standpoint? I mean, what is the purpose? Like, why do these artists need to find, you know, their group of people like you guys have found with Culture Villains? What does it do for an artist?
It builds a legitimate following. I mean, the biggest thing, and I tell artists, if you really want to get yourself out there, you have to be present, you have to be visible, you have to be intentional. You know, when you think about big artists in mainstream, when they found their footing, it's because they found their fans and they engaged their fans, and they were always visible and catered to their fans. Now, if you're in a small area, like let's just say a Liberty student who's doing music, get out and be visible amongst your peers. You know, put on your own shows. Like it's possible. It's easy. Like we've only put on our own shows in the past 2 years. Speaking about CV, so get out there, be visible, put on your own shows, and give consistent content. You have to be consistent when it comes to music, because as soon as you aren't consistent, people start to forget about you. So if you do those couple of things, you'll begin to have people start to buy into what you're selling them. I think those are the keys if you really want to find your footing in this thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that you were talking about we're going to see you guys maybe working with some new artists, and I'm not trying to, get your inbox flooded with people hitting you up for that. But can you just give us some insight, like if you are thinking about working with, bringing in some new artists to work with, like what is it that you are looking for?
Someone that's authentic. One thing about Culture Villains, like we don't take shortcuts when it comes to growing. We all know people in the music industry who try to build their following using clout chasing tactics. One thing we're real big on is everything being organic. No bought followers, bought streams, or any of that. Everything's organic. You have to be authentic as an artist. It has to be good music. And you just have to be a good person. I think that's one thing that is unique about us is all of us are friends when you think about Culture Villains. We were all friends. We're all close-knit before we even started working on music together. So those are big things. I think if there was anything else, somebody that has great work ethic. That's one thing you need in the current music climate. You have to have strong work ethic because there's a lot more you can do as independent artists now. But I think you have to still work harder because social media is big now when it comes to music. You can't just put it out and go about your business. So work ethic is key. Definitely.
Well, and I think you obviously have found those traits with Cam and with Josh. When I talked to Ye late in 2019 and we did an interview for the website, he was saying how each member of CV has kind of their own thing that sets them apart. Like, how do you view these guys? Like, what is it that makes each one of them special, within this space?
Well, I think when I think about Cam, what sets Cam apart is he reminds me of there was a rapper named Ace Hood, and when you listen to Ace Hood, you could always hear somebody that was hungry within his music. It was just so motivational. I think that's what I think with Cam. When you listen to some of Cam's music, you can see his hunger and his want to make good music and want to impact people. You hear it throughout his music, and I think that sets him apart. With Josh, I think there's just such a sincerity in his music. Josh is probably one of the most innocent people you'll ever meet in life. And in his music, you can hear his innocence, you can hear his vulnerability, and I think that will always set him apart. He's so honest in his music. And with Ye, I think with Ye, what sets him apart, I don't think anybody raps like Ye. I think Ye has probably the most effortless flow, probably besides KB in our space. I don't think anybody can. I don't think many people, and I think only KB can rap technically as well as Ye.
Well, I mean, I agree with that, man. What he did with Young Gohan is, man, that was an album. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, it came. That was a very unique thing because I'll tell you this, and this is a funny story. So South by Southwest last year, we were riding the South by Southwest, coming off one of the preseason dates. You had me, JT, Cam, Josh, and Ye and Senny in a car. In a van. So we were listening to Young Gohan, and we were just feeling like, man, this isn't it. This wasn't where we wanted to go. It sounded nothing like the final product. So I was like, hey, Gabe, we were supposed to wrap this project after we get back from the South by. I was like, you need to get in the booth or something. You need to get with a producer because it's just not where we wanted to be. And everybody was agreeing that the project just wasn't where we wanted it to be yet. So when we got back from South by Southwest, Ye locked in with Enzo and Kilowatts for 3 days, and the project ended up sounding what you hear now. So it was a 3-day effort to revamp the project. We're in the studio, we wrapped it up, and it was great. Like, he really got in his bag, he really locked down, and it's definitely his best work.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I think the one thing as I'm listening to you tell that story and trying to put myself in the shoes of an artist that's perhaps listening, I mean, I think the thing I take away the most from that is just how you guys, it's not all just about, man, let's go and have fun. It's about accountability. It's about honesty with each other within the group. And I think, there's some artists who just don't have that. And I think that's another reason why you look for those like-minded individuals. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. I think being able to take feedback is so crucial as an artist because, if you're always looking for yeses, then you're not going to grow. You're not going to evolve as an artist. But if you're looking for honest feedback, what you're going to get sometimes are hurt feelings, but for the most part, you're going to develop into a better artist. Before Cam got with us, Cam used to always send me references. And I lie to you not. For 2 months straight, every reference was terrible. Terrible. And I said, Cam, every song sounds the same. And next thing I knew, he sent me 4 of my favorite songs by him. And from there, he just hit his stride. And, everyone has probably heard Cam's music is tremendously good. But right before he hit his stride, it was tremendously bad. So honest feedback will help you evolve. And you have to be open to it as an artist. You can't surround yourself with yes men. You have to want to grow. Certainly.
So, man, I want to ask you a question, and if there's, if there's just not an answer to this, that's fine. But, obviously not very long after the release of Young Gohan, Ye kind of made an announcement of, hey, maybe I need to take a step back, whatever the case may be here. Is there any updates? Is there anything that we can kind of get from you as far as how Ye's doing, how we can be supportive of him, or just what the outlook is at this point?
Yeah, Ye is doing good. He's taking some time away. He's taking a year away to really focus on his spiritual health, his mental health, and just everything as a whole. He's doing good. Him and JT live literally 3 minutes from each other. So JT, gets to speak to him more than everybody else, but he's doing good. And I don't think you've heard the last of him, like he said. he's starting to get back to himself. So in due time, everybody will hear from Ye, but he's doing good. Just keep him in prayer. I think that's the biggest thing. We see our artists out here and we listen to their music and we love them, but there's a lot of stuff everybody battles behind closed doors. So, always keep your favorite artists, always keep your friends in prayer.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, I know that we reached out to him just as a platform once he made the announcement, and we were like, hey, first of all, we are praying for you. We're supportive of you. And we're going to support you going forward no matter what it is. And I think that's one of the cool things that we have, within CHH is we have this opportunity to definitely take it beyond music. And so hopefully, people don't take that lightly at all, for sure. So definitely best wishes for him. And we'll be looking forward to hopefully hearing more in the future, no doubt. So, but man, let me kind of switch gears a little bit, Travis. Like, I know once again, going back to you saying like, hey, we may be looking to work with some different artists. I'm not trying to ask you to tell us who those may be, but what I do want to ask you is, as you pay attention to what's going on specifically within independent Christian hip hop, what are some artists that just kind of have your attention right now?
Yeah, I'll be clear. clear. My favorite artist in the indie game right now is definitely Senny. I love Senny. I think Senny is going to be a star once he starts releasing music. So I definitely listen to him. J. Crumb, definitely. J. Crumb is a monster lyrically. I think everybody is sleeping on him. I'm glad he was a freshman this year. I think more people need to pay attention to him. Another guy everybody's sleeping on, King Chav. King Chav is another lyrical monster. I think everybody really needs to keep a close eye on him. As far as indie, I think those are the major ones I listen to. I listen to them a lot. I listen to Cul-de-sac Collective. Yeah, those are the people that have my ears.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So what do we expect from you guys? I know you kind of hit on it a little bit. I mean, is there any specifics that you can drop for us as far as what the rest of 2020 is looking like for Culture Villains? What should we be preparing for?
I think you'll get a Cam album right before the summer starts. I think you'll get a Josh project towards the end of the summer. You'll get a short film along with that project. And we might have a new artist releasing music towards the fall. And we might start on pre-season 2 in the winter. But that's what you're getting from us.
There you go. There you go. What about for you personally, man? What are you excited about for this year?
I think I'm excited for growth. I love how we're being more involved in the community of CHH. So there have been a lot of relationships I've been making lately, and people I've been meeting. And the one thing that just stands out is just how great this community is. There's, some people, if I could just give a shout out real quick, some people that I just love to talk to that are great people, like Michael V, Aaron Knight. She's such a great person. I love Aaron to death. Chad Horton, Justin from Rapzilla. Those are all great people. Nate Dogg from FiveTwenty. So those are people I just, have been drawn to, and I just love the community and meeting these new people.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that Nate appreciates that, especially since he's old and ugly. So, oh man, but nah, man, no, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So if people want to make sure that they are, not only keeping track of what's going on with you and with Culture Villains, but they want to have ways that they can show support. Like, how are they going to do that, man? Where do they need to be checking in on you guys? Where do they need to be following? All that good stuff.
All right. If you want to keep in contact with Culture Villains, go to www.culturevillains.com. Or if you want to make it simpler for you, you can text the word villain, VILLAIN, to the number 31996. You'll get all exclusive updates, discount, announcements, everything. Just text VILLAIN to 31996.
That's what's up. And with all the potential music on the way and this whole crazy having to shift around stuff for this virus and everything, you think we might get some new tour dates like in the fall possibly?
Yeah, I can tell you right now, we're going to try as soon as things clear up with the coronavirus, we're going to reschedule the last couple of dates of the Incognito tour. The venues are already on board. It just, once everything cools down, we're just going to schedule it, and we're going to make it special. We're going to make Atlanta special. I'm working on some real good special guests, so stay tuned on that. And then probably we're going to do a tour for Cam's project in the fall. We might do a tour for Josh, but Josh might be getting married this fall. He's working on the wedding date. But yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some more touring, so look out for that.
For sure, man. We'll be excited for it. Keep us looped in, man. If we got an opportunity to get involved as a platform here at FiveTwenty again, man, we'd love to partner with you guys a second time, maybe even more in the future, So,
of course, we're definitely grateful for you all. Like, you all just play such a big part in our culture. And, when you guys came into existence, it was definitely refreshing.
Oh, we appreciate that, no doubt, man, no doubt. I know there's big things ahead, and you guys have rocked with us from the beginning, so we are forever grateful for that, man, no doubt. Well, Travis, man, I am very appreciative of you taking time out of your day to jump on the podcast with me and share just some of your insight. I hope it's not the last time we get you on here, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, I look forward to the next time. Hopefully it's soon.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, hey, man, once again, thank you so much. Guys, go out, support Culture Villains. They are doing very good things, and they are in it for the right reasons. So this is something you definitely want to get behind, this movement. Again, we want to give a shout out to the bookkeeper247.com for sponsoring this interview, as well as all our other great podcast sponsors for this month. And we will be checking you guys on the next pod. Thank you.